Hi everyone. Hope you're all having a good night and enjoying all of the weather that we're having and you're not getting too crazy with any of the weather that we're having, and hopefully the snow and the freezing rain isn't getting too heavy with you. But anyway, hopefully you're all having a good night with us tonight, and thank you for joining us. We're really excited to have Carol and Darold Enright with us tonight from Enright Cattle Company to talk about their branding and marketing and all of the great ideas and innovation that they've done in the past couple of years. So we'll get to them shortly, but I'll just go over a few of the little updates and news that we have every time. So just to kind of start off here, oh, I don't want to do the end of the slideshow. Get back to the front here. So if you missed our last webinar, don't worry. Our last webinar you can find on our website. So the one featuring Ken Schaus of Schaus Land and Cattle Company and Jack Chafe of Chafe Farms, and all of our previous webinars are featured on OntarioBeef.com at /bfoUP webinar. So you can find those online, and all of our webinars will be there, and this one will also be there as well. So feel free to go on and make sure that you check those out. Just a really interesting thing that you can find that is especially good for young producers who are looking for some information. The Canadian Agriculture Partnership Program, or CAP, is now out. New growing forward, so it's just got a new name. So the interesting things that they're really focusing on, if you're looking for some funding, are economic development in the agri-food and agri-product sectors, environmental stewardship to enhance water quality and soil health, protection and insurance to reinforce the foundation for public trust in the sector through improved insurance systems, and food safety and plant and animal health. And the first intake window for producers, processors, and other agribusiness to apply for cost share funding assistance is from April 3rd to May 8th, 2018. So that's kind of happening right now. And so it's a good opportunity to go onto our website, OntarioBeef.com/bfoUP, under resource, under links. And it's also right on our homepage that we have a bit of information about it too, to find out more. So it's a great opportunity to be able to go and find some funding if you're looking a way to expand your operation and that sort of thing. So to take advantage. So I really encourage you to go and find out more about CAP and take advantage of that funding. Coming up in July is our Beef Youth Development Program that Dan and I are working on. So we're planning on doing it in Eastern Ontario this year, in Ottawa, Grenville. So we're still working on it, but it's definitely happening in Eastern Ontario there. It's for producers between 18 to 35 with farm tours. And we'll have industry speakers as well. And we'll also, while we're there, assess management practices, as well as making presentations when we're doing those management practices. So as we get more information about those, we'll have more information coming out for you guys. And if you want to need more information about it, feel free to contact me and I'll be happy to let you know. Another great program that's going to be coming out is the Canadian Beef Industry Conference that's coming out in August. And along with that is bfoUP has decided to partner with the Young Cattlemen's Council with that, with their YCC AGM that's happening as part of the Canadian Beef Industry Conference. So it's just a whole bunch being put together. So bfoUP has decided to help sponsor Daryl Wade as a speaker at the YCC AGM part of it, talking about succession planning and conversations on moving the family farm forward. So it's a really good opportunity to take part at the Canadian Beef Industry Conference and the Young Cattlemen's Council. So I really encourage you. This will be my third time going to the Canadian Beef Industry Conference, as well as the Young Cattlemen's Council at the Canadian Beef Industry Conference. And so if you're able to, I strongly encourage you guys to take part in CBIC, and this is the first year they've actually made it so that you can just sign up for one day of the CBIC, like just going for daily, as opposed to just having to sign up for all three. So if you're able to do that, I encourage that as well. So early bird registration is happening right now, so you can sign up at the CanadianBeefConference.com and just go and look at the schedule as well as to what's going on. So again, I really encourage you to think about that. It's Ontario, and you can go and look some more as to what's going on. So that's happening as well. where to learn more. As I tell you guys every session, you can check out BFO's website, the weekly e-newsletter, the magazine, and then also on our social media. And then last but not least, that's important, our next bfoUP webinar will be held on May 15th, and it's going to be our last one before the summer starts. So we felt that May would be our last one because it's going to be busy starting in the summer with people doing hay. Hopefully the weather will start being warm enough that people can start actually doing planting and that sort of thing. So we're going to do our last one in May and then start up again next winter and spring again. So this one will be our last one in May. So it'll be Sandra Voss who will be talking, and she will actually be sharing her experience of how she began from scratch on a cow-calf operation from no farming background, and she'll discuss the strategies and ideas she used in establishing her farming operation. So it should be a really good opportunity to learn from her and how she came from nothing in her farming operation to how she's developed it now. So with that, we'll move from there to Kara and Darold, and they can talk now. So I'm going to change the presenter over to Kara and Darold. So, on here. Okay, you should be good to go, Kara. You should just be able to push the show screen button that you have on the little side panel there, and that should be able to, there we go. Okay. It's all you. You're all set to go.
Perfect. Okay, good. So thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to give you an overview on the operation, and then we're going to just discuss a few things that we feel has helped us be successful, as well as a few challenges that we've had. And we're going to touch on succession, and then we'll open it up for a few questions at the end. So Darold and I own and operate Enright cattle company. We're located just outside of Tweed, Ontario, and we have two young kids, Corbin, who is 9, and Evelyn, who will be 4 on Friday. We have a small herd of about 60 Simmental cows, and the majority of them are registered. We have about I guess we usually use an Angus bull to breed our first calf heifers, but then we also have 2 mature walking bulls that we use. They're Simmental as well, and we AI all of our cows for the first 3 weeks to a Simmental bull, and then the herd bulls clean up after that.
So the majority of our cows do calve in the February and the beginning of March. We do have a small bunch now too, starting in September. The cows themselves, they winter around the barn and the house and the fields around us, and they use a straw pack, as you can see in the picture, for their bedding. The portable windbreaks that you can see, we wrap them around the straw pack in a U shape. That gives them all the protection they could use for sure. Beside the windbreaks, we use portable calf shelters. These things nicely bedded up. It's hard to keep the calves out of them, so they go in there whenever the weather turns nasty.
And then when we bought the farm, there was just an old barn there on it, and so we put calving pens in the one end of the barn, and then the other end is just open front style, which we use for when we're weaning the calves, and we also use it for the close-up pen. And we have a fence line feeder here out front of it Then we built another pole barn towards the end of the old barn, which you can see just in the middle picture there. The pole barn isn't quite done, but that houses our handling facility. So we have a corral and everything in there, and it's actually portable. We put solar panels on the roof of the new barn, and then out front of the new barn is also a fence line feeder as well. So Darold and I purchased the farm in 2004 after I graduated from the University of Guelph, and at that point I had about 12 cows that I had started buying when I was maybe 14. Started just buying a few heifers for basically 4-H projects, and I'd always keep all the heifer calves, and those cows just stayed with my parents in their farm within their herd, and I worked on the farm for free, and they fed my cows for free. So was able to get started building a herd young, and then we moved them to our farm in 2004, and we basically started keeping replacement heifers out of the herd from there. We were both working full-time off the farm at that point. I was selling feed for a feed company across Ontario, and Darold was building custom homes as a carpenter. And we were working a lot of long hours trying to build the farm, and the farm was not even breaking even, let alone making a profit. So by 2009, when we decided to start our family, we felt that we just didn't have enough time to continue in the way we were going, and that we needed to make some drastic changes so that our farm would become profitable and sustain at least one of us as a full-time employee. So we put together a plan that would allow us to achieve that, and our plan included us direct marketing our beef.